Welcome to Chart Detective. In today's presentation, we'll be reviewing Advanced Micro Devices, better known as AMD, which is also its ticker symbol. As always, let's take a look to see how the stock had performed in 2024. Initially, at the beginning of 2024, the bulls took command and drove the price up by 70%, where an all-time high was made at $227. However, the bears stepped back in and drove the price down to $120, and the price was down by as much as 45% from that all-time high to finish 2024. And overall, the stock was down by about 10%, even though initially it began the year by being up 70%, it ended up down for the year. Let's now look to see how the stock has been performing in 2025. So far in 2025, we see the stock is still trending down by as much as 14% this year. If we look in early December, we see there was a high, but it was a lower high. Another lower high early January, mid-January, another one, and mid-February, and then mid-March we had another lower high. So if we connect them all together, we have a downtrend line, which is also serve as resistance, because we see price could not move beyond this line. However, we see that price has gap above this resistance. So this resistance line will now become support because price is now trading above it. So the red line would become a green line. So now that resistance has become support, so it's likely that price would pull back down to revisit that trend line, which is now being served as support. This is exactly what we see happen. On Friday, when the price when the market closed, we saw that AMD moved back down to revisit that trend line at $103.22. So we think price is about to move higher from there. Now, remember, this is just probability. So price could also move downward from where we are right now. So if price was to move down, we would expect it to go to $95.50, but we don't think this is likely. It's possible, but we think it's very likely that price will move higher. So we think price will move up by about 10% and meet resistance around $117. If this happens, in our next update for the stock, we will have a formation of an inverse head and shoulder. So far, this is what we have, and we think price will move higher from where it's trading currently, and there it would stop at the resistance line that will serve as the neckline for the inverse head and shoulder. So this is what we think could happen. So if this happens in our next update, we'll talk about the inverse head and shoulder, what the expectation should be for it. Thank you. That's all we have for you for today.